Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I've got an amazing show for you today. I have so much to talk about. There's been so much going on in the last 24 hours. But before I get through that, please, if you get a chance, like, subscribe, and also go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I greatly appreciate that before I get started and try to put all this information into a quick, digestible format that just makes it easy to understand. All right. So first off, we have the consumer price index number, the CPI number, right? We talked about this on Sunday, but so the consumer price index rose just 0.1% from the previous month and increased 7.1% from a year ago, right? Compared with the estimates of 0.3% and 7.3%. So what that means is that it has come in lower than expected. The consumer price index is something that the Fed looks at and uses it to determine whether or not inflation is at an acceptable level. Okay, so they're definitely going to be looking at this. And the Fed is going to be they're going to be meeting today, both today and tomorrow, and Jerome Powell is going to be talking tomorrow. So the core CPI, which basically excludes food and energy, this rose 0.2%, and the estimate of that was actually 0.3%. So again, that's come down significantly, and 6% on an annual basis compared to 6.1% on an estimate basis. So CPI came in and it was not nearly as high as people expected. So naturally, what you saw today in the markets was a large rally. And here we have our Bitcoin chart here. So Bitcoin had a huge day, relatively speaking. It was up 3.27%, but it actually came down quite a bit. It was up almost 5% today and then retreated very quickly. So what I have to say about this, the sideways pennant that you see right in front of me, this where you have the upper resistance line here and the lower the upper resistance and the lower support line here, this basically played out exactly as intended here. And the whole goal here is either you're going to wind up seeing a breakdown in support, or you're going to see a break up, you're going to see a breakout in the resistance line here. So what we had was a breakout, and we had some strong buying today. If we zoom in on the hourly, we can see here that we had a massive buy come in here. I mean, just in 1 hour, you had over 1,000 Bitcoin trading hands. And we can see that the RSI is truly outrageous. It's at 69. It was at much higher levels for most of the day, so it is definitely strongly overbought right now, according to RSI. And if we take a look at the funding rate, one thing we can see here is that for our contracts funding rate, we have the shorts got completely wiped out for the most part, and now we have the longs taking over. So the sentiment right now seems to be that longs are going to be strong, at least in the near term. However, I am not buying into any of this. I don't buy any of it. I don't really think that this has any particular legs behind it. This move right here, I think, is going to be very short-lived, and we're going to wind up seeing the Bitcoin price come back down again in the interim, probably within the next couple of days. And one thing that's really important to point out is the fact that Jerome Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow, and he does not like when the markets are up. He usually likes to play down the market. He likes to talk down the market, and instead he's going to be very hawkish. So that's what I'm expecting for tomorrow. And now the net of that is going to be that we're probably going to see a pullback in the Bitcoin price. I'm not buying at these levels. I am not interested in buying at these levels. I only like to buy in times of capitulation, and this is not capitulation. This is the opposite. This is basically whales buying and FOMO buying, and I am waiting this one out. So if we take a look at our Ethereum price as well, we'll see Ethereum also kind of broke out of this ascending triangle here. So we zoom out. Take a look at this. We see that yesterday we talked about this ascending triangle here. So it took out this strong support level, the strong resistance level here at 1307. And now we can see that it went up and it challenged this new resistance line at 1347. And if you wanted to, you can kind of just move this trend line up a little bit. And you can see that that right now is the new resistance point for Ethereum, this 1350 level. So we'll see if this continues upwards. And if it does, then you would expect that it's going to break through this new resistance point here at 1350. However, just like with Bitcoin, again, if we zoom in, we can see that on the hourly, it is strongly overbought right now. Right now it's at 64, but before in the day, it was up to a massive 85. And just the FOMO buying and the whales coming in here just reached levels that I haven't seen in quite some time. And so that's pushed it up to higher, even higher levels. So again, just like with Bitcoin, I do expect Ethereum is going to pull back as well. One thing we could wind up seeing is it come back here to this 1280 level or 1300 maybe in this region right here. So definitely looking at a pullback for Ethereum as well. All right, so with Binance Coin, finally. So Binance Coin did something a little strange today. If you'll notice, I have the daily here. Binance Coin actually sold off really hard. Binance Coin was started at about $275, and it went all the way down here to $253. So it sold off pretty heavily. It recovered quite a bit, but it's still a down day for Binance Coin. Now, the reason why this had such a weird reaction to relatively positive CPI news is because Binance has been under question to see if they actually hold as much digital assets as they say they do. And so Binance actually wound up pausing some withdrawals, and it saw $3 billion in outflows since yesterday. So that's partially what happened here. There's a lot of concern about Binance. Personally, I'm not concerned about Binance, but these kinds of market moves do tend to precipitate any sort of news whatsoever, negative news or FUD about a specific exchange. So this saw a pretty massive outflow of people just selling their Binance Coin and not getting back in again. So with Binance Coin, it's kind of in shaky ground right now because it went right through the support level here at 262. It wicked through it, but the fact that it actually went through it in the first place and didn't bounce off this level, and the fact that it wicked through does not inspire confidence, and it's probably going to come back down and retest that support level down here as well, and that's at about 254. So that's what I'm expecting for Binance Coin. All right. And especially if Jerome Powell comes out tomorrow and he's incredibly hawkish, we could see the entire crypto market tank along with the stock market. And honestly, that's what I'm expecting for him to do. There is no reason for him to come out and be even a little bullish. He wants to shut down all economic activity to kill inflation. And they're perfectly okay with starting a recession in order to curb inflation. So let's talk about our other big story of the day. So yesterday what happened was Sam Bankman-Fried got arrested, okay, and now he has been denied bail, all right? He was arrested in the Bahamas, and now he has been denied bail, and the judge is basically saying that his flight risk is too great, so they couldn't possibly give him bail. So I think this is really important that this actually happened because it does show that there is some accountability, some responsibility happening for a collapse of a major crypto exchange. And that's something that has to happen. There needs to be some sort of accountability, because if you don't have accountability, then you're not going to get the kind of widespread adoption that crypto will have in the future without having any accountability for people who are bad actors in the space. And this is a tale of a bad actor in the space who, you know, may or may not be operating a Ponzi scheme. I'm not going to pass a judgment on that, but it does look like, from what I've seen on the bankruptcy filing, which I did a whole video on that there is significant fraudulent activity happening at FTX. And so Sam Bankman-Fried here has been arrested, and now he has been denied bail. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. This is a big episode, and tomorrow is going to be another huge episode because, like I said, FOMC is happening. Jerome Powell is going to be talking, and I'm going to be trying to cover that as best as possible on my Twitter account. So if you're interested in that, definitely recommend that you follow me on my Twitter account, and then go ahead and just check out my tweets. All right. So I hope you all have a fantastic night.